Hello. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's section of reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, for the tarot version, I'm using the Ghost Tarot by, I always mess up his name, Davide, David Cossey? You can see the spelling. That way if you want to find this deck. There's also the website here on the back, which this camera is giving the clear version of that. For the Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards, I love this deck, by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish, and down there at the bottom is hayhouse.com if you're interested to check all that out. And last but not least, I use dice too. I use a 22-sided dice, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool, 14-sided dice for the Minor Arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element that's matching up with the Minor Arcana. It's from the dice. They're from the Dice Shop. The website is mathartfun.com. Feel free to check those out if you're interested. That being said, of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Pisces. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Pisces? Okay, so I was shuffling and 4 cards just flew out. They're just like, poof, here we are. So something's going on. And I also will add here that I typically like to read cards right side up, but if they come out upside down, then we roll with it. And we've had a few that have decided they will come in upside down. Doesn't mean they're bad. It's usually easier for people to follow if I keep them all right side up. But if they insist, then they insist. All right, so that's weird. This is not you, by the way. This is somebody around you. This is the Knight of Cups, but I keep feeling broken heart, like somebody's upset. And this might be somebody going forward that they're still pining for something or trying to get somebody or something, and they're not accepting that they're not going to get it. So I feel like there's something about a broken heart, or it's like on the verge of a broken heart. It's weird because it's like the Knight of Cups. Most people wouldn't read it that way, but there's other cards over here that are making me feel like there might be a problem, and it might be their actions that are causing that. Not that you have to get involved in that, but this might be floating around you. There's some weird energy floating around you. Being aware of that and making sure that you don't soak that in whatever version you need could really help keep things stable and keep things where you need. Just because you're not soaking in somebody's energy doesn't mean you don't care about them. But, you soaking in that energy and enjoying them with that is not going to help the situation, and it's not going to help you. Just keep that in mind. I feel like Pisces, I'm a Pisces too, raised by Pisces, blah, 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 blah. I just feel like that's a downfall. We got to be careful not to over-empathize with something that maybe isn't for the best for them or us. Okay. That's just a side note. As I'm moving forward, though, there are good things here for you. And there's good things, like, I feel like I'm questioning, like, what's really happening here. I'm not only questioning what's really happening, I'm questioning what do I really want to see come of it. Because there's some really positive connections in the past, but those questions, due to current events and current situations and current standings, I might be questioning, like, what is really going on here. I might be kind of, like, a little disillusioned, or I don't want to say confused. I might be questioning the past, or questioning, even though maybe it was good in the past, is it still good currently? There may be some questions about connections there. And I feel like the energy I'm coming into, I don't really know what. Like, I keep getting I don't really know, but what is it from the past? Don't really know something. there's a variable. There's the Wheel of Fortune is dancing around here, and then the Two of Pentacles is coming in. Like something is unbalanced or unsteady. I want to say unsteady. I don't think unbalanced is the right word. Something is unsteady because it's not like somebody's putting here, putting there. It's not like that. Like somebody's balancing something out. It's not like that. It's something is unsteady. It's like the ground feels a little shaky. Kind of like, is this a good place? Is this making sense? And I feel like due to the history of the situation, I want to kind of believe that the stability is here and that I can believe in it and that I just got to stand with it and I'll be okay. But this is kind of like the weather passing through. It's kind of like, is this going to stay? Can I really believe in this? And I feel like there's a lot of question around this. Like, can I really? So unforeseen circumstances that are affecting your situation, unforeseen to you. Because these fell out. They're face down. Of the 4 cards that fell out, 2 fell face down, 2 fell face up. The face down ones are telling me you're not seeing this. The Devil and the 9 of Pentacles. Whatever this situation is, somebody is hiding their true motives. There's probably more than one person in this situation. And somebody is not only hiding their true motives, but they seem to be more self-sufficient. They're worrying about what they need and what they are going to get. They're not worrying about other people. There's boundaries. This doesn't have to be a bad thing, but if you see it, I feel like you can navigate around it. I know it's the Devil card, but still. The Devil isn't always a bad card. Sometimes it talks about Capricorn energy, which is not a bad energy for Pisces. But if you know the boundaries, you know this is how they're working right now, but they're keeping it hidden, that there's something they want and they're looking to get what they want. They're not worried about other people as much as just what they want. It may seem like they are, but they're not. It's kind of like, this is unforeseen. So it's like, it may be an acquaintance, it could even be a close connection, could be a coworker, boss, whatever, somebody that works for you. They're very invested in what they need and what they want, and they're holding that ground, and they're like, I'm getting what I want first. Once they get what they want, it's questionable where it goes after that. But this is like a variable, like you need to know that this is happening. Somebody might be in survival mode with this. They might be. I also got the King of Pentacles in the environment. This is all earth. You know, the Devil card is an earth card. You know, some people think it's fire for obvious reasons, but it talks about Capricorn. Capricorn is earth. That's why I equate it to earth. I'm just saying. And I'm getting a backup with more earth energy. Like, this is very much constructing what's going to happen next. It's like reading off the blueprint, if you will. What's there is there, but this is the energy that's conveying the information on the blueprint. It's like, this is telling you, this is the interpreter, this is the usherer in of the information. Okay, so here's the next thing coming in, and I feel like this explains a lot why we're seeing this. Somebody not willing to let go, but still not moving forward. And something with this situation is somebody's not willing to let go, but they're not willing to move forward, and it doesn't make sense. So like if this was you, if I was going to put this in a baking analogy, because I love baking analogies, it's kind of like somebody made the dough to make a bread, and it's sitting over to the side, but they're not baking it. They have it there. Maybe they're freezing it. I don't know. Can you do that? I mean, it doesn't matter. The dough's there, and it's kind of like, I think it's risen enough. I think they could do it. They're not doing it. They're like, no. Maybe, I don't know. I think you can put it in the fridge. I think you can freeze it. I don't know. But they're putting it to the side. They're not using it. And it's kind of like, okay, they got that far. They don't want to use it right now. And they're not going forward. And it's kind of like, but we could bake that bread and that would be delicious. It would be delicious. I would love to have that. And I feel like your initial, I don't know if this is right for how you're feeling or if this is kind of like some suggestion to handle it. Just kind of trust that they're doing what they need to do. They're doing what they need to do, but it's kind of realizing that they're working towards something and it's for them. And I feel like if we can get into this position where, okay, they're holding that bread, there's something they want to do with that. I don't know if I'm included in it, but I don't need to be. So I'm just gonna, So it's almost like instead of getting excited, like, ooh, that's a good bread. I want some of that bread. Kind of like, all right, they're holding it. Maybe I won't be here when they cook it. Maybe I won't get any of it. So I'm just going to disconnect from that. That's their business. Just because we're close doesn't mean I have to be a part of that. Let me step back and just be like, okay, they're holding that to the side. I don't know why, but I need to uninvest in that, disconnect from that, and just like, okay, that's what they want. I'm just gonna leave it there and let them do what they need to do, and just let it be. You have other things pulling you forward anyway. Okay. The energy, I like the energy. It's very like trying to make the right decision and moving at the same time. Your energy is moving, which is very positive. The way I'm feeling it. We got Pentacles of something. King of Pentacles. And the Empress in question. When I say a card's in question, it's like this. It's not fully upright, it's not fully upside down. It's got a mix of both energies. In case that confuses people, because I know I've done that before. So that's how I'm saying that. You are moving forward, and I feel like you're trying to help this energy. Is that okay? There's just those other two cards that fell out. So like I feel like you're trying to help it. You got the King of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, the card, and the Empress in question, like I just said. You're trying to help. And it feels like if I'm trying to help you, then I should be considered moving forward. You should consider my connection. I'm not completely convinced. I don't know. Let's keep going. Because the cards that fell out are the Seven of Fire and the Seven of Water. And they both fell out kind of like that. The Seven of Fire is actually closer to you. I don't know if I want to do that for a certain reason. There's something they want. I keep getting that, but when I get that Seven of Cups, it's not that they don't know what they want to do with it. They just don't know how they want to do it or who they want to include right now. So, and it's kind of like, I feel like there's this weird yo-yo effect. Like they kind of pull you close and they kind of push you away. And they kind of pull you close and they kind of push you away. And they're doing this to other people too. I don't know if you're going to notice it, but they're doing that. And that can be very upsetting, especially to Pisces, in my opinion. I'm saying that as a Pisces. Because it's that yo-yoing feeling can be very upsetting. And it's kind of like, well, do I matter or not? Which is it? Which is it? They're in this weird... They want what they want. They just want to make sure they get what they want from it. And they seem to... I keep getting this push-pull energy with people around them. It's unsettling, but it doesn't have to bring you down. The situation will move forward very quickly. So if I'm going to use, again, that analogy of the bread, it's like all of a sudden you show up and the bread has been cooked or baked. It's a question mark if you got any of it. It's a question mark. But the person who is protective of it, they got what they wanted. I don't think this has to be a bad thing for you, whether you're a part of that or not. Whether you got some of the bread or not, for example. It doesn't have to be good or bad. Whether you got it or not, it doesn't have to be good or bad. It's just kind of like, it is what it is. The situation seemed to have remedied itself quite quickly. And what they're saying from this moment is a good idea, to be careful. At this moment, you don't want to just keep working along like, oh, well, that's how that went. That's fine. You gotta be careful of that. Careful about that. A better idea, from what I'm connecting to, like decide what you want to do, of course, is to kind of like do an emotional self-audit of what you know by yourself. Kind of like, all right, I see how this played out. I see what they were trying to get. I see how it finally played out. And just kind of like look at it kind of like, what is this energy really telling you? Who are they telling you? Like, what are they telling you about themselves? Like, just kind of like learning more about this person, because they're saying this is one of those times where maybe they couldn't mask it, but it's probably not something that they do just once in a while. It's probably something that's commonly there. It's probably really motivating them most of the time. It's just most of the time, I feel like they're very good at masking it. This is just one of the times they couldn't mask it very well. Other times, maybe they're better at that, but this is always there. It's always an underlying energy. They're saying, see it for what it is. Just be aware of it, because this might make more sense later if you need it, because you got random energy coming in with this person later, and it's kind of like you want to be in a position where you can realize when that wheel is spinning, when the dice are rolling, you can't count on this person to definitely look out for you. And I hate to be that one, because I don't mean to bum anybody out, but they're saying if you're aware of this at this point and you're realizing that that's always there, it's almost like it's not meant to be negative. It's just kind of saying this person might have this survival instinct that's always in play, but you just don't usually notice it, maybe. But they're like, if you see it for what it is and you know that it's there, you'll realize, like, I have to be careful with this one, especially when things get really random. I got to be very well aware of how things shake out, and like what they did and who they decide is on their survival team. Sometimes people look out for just their survival team when they feel really pressed, and the survival team is like, I look out for this person because when it gets really difficult, I think that person is going to make sure that I'm okay. So they just look out for their survival team. Does that make sense? It's not like a spiritually evolved, it's not like a spiritually appointed thing. It's like that person believes this person, that person, this other person will look out for them. So they look out for these people. Sometimes I've seen this happen in a corporate sense a lot, where like people look out for certain people thinking they're going to have their back, and then, you know, push comes to shove, that's not always the case. Realizing and learning more about this person could help you be a lot more comfortable with this situation and help you navigate it with more strength and more confidence. This isn't a bad connection for you, which is, I don't know how it sounds me saying that, but it's not really a bad connection. It's just seeing the honest truth of what it really is in your life. It will help you be more prosperous going forward. So they're saying you don't have to walk away from this energy. They just want you to see it so you can be aware of it and, you know, connect with it accordingly, so it doesn't cause you an unnecessary upset. Is there anything else with this? I feel like they're just saying they just want you, because things seem to be going well, but they're like, down the road, this could cause an issue. It doesn't have to. This is your moment to get a little closer with, like, oh, okay, this is what's happening. And then you can keep control of that energy and ground it, kind of like, all right, they're being a little cuckoo. They're being a little cuckoo. I don't have to go down that road with them. I don't have to get in the car there. I just want to take that trip with them, and like they're going to do what they need to do. And then I feel like you're also going to realize if you are or are not a part of that survival team. You might also realize that going forward as things keep playing out. Do they feel like you are a part of their survival team or not? I don't think I'm using the right terms, so I don't know what the technical terms are. But it's kind of like people who look out for certain people thinking, oh, okay, if push comes to shove, this person will definitely make sure I'm okay. You know what I mean? People do that. I don't know if that's something everybody does or not, but that's what I keep getting. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. You have a great day.